it's Mike. I'm back doing a Vinyl Finds video today. I've had a chance to visit some record stores, which I haven't really had a chance to do in a while, and went flipping through a lot of their bins and found some pretty nice used records. And I'm going to show a couple of new ones, I think, too, but for the most part, this is all used stuff. So let's get started. This first one, this is a record I already have. I've already shown this on my channel. This is Killing Jokes, Extremities, Dirt, and Various Repressed Emotions. Well, I don't remember which album this is in their discography, but it was released in 1990 after one of their many hiatuses. Fantastic album, one of my top 5 Killing Joke albums by far, easily. And I found this a while back, a couple years ago. This is a white label test pressing of this album. I ordered it off of Discogs, and I didn't read the description very carefully and didn't realize that I was getting a test pressing until it arrived, but I'm really happy with it. It sounds great. The only thing about this test pressing, though, is that it comes with 2 records. It's got the snipe that you see. If you go to try to order this, you'll see most of the covers have this little snipe on it, which I think is kind of ugly. But so it's that, and then the back cover looks normal. But it's not a gatefold, and there's nothing inside. No inner sleeves. It just came with the records in generic sleeves, inner sleeves. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but again, it was a test pressing, so I really shouldn't be expecting all the bells and whistles, because it didn't come with that. It just came with this one record sleeve, outer sleeve, and then the 2 white label records on the inside. So I was at the local Zia Records the other day, and lo and behold, they had a reissue from 2007 of this album, and it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got the gatefold, it's got all the lyrics and the images on the other side. So it's got the full, and this is a really nice copy, really clean, really crisp at corners. This is about 20 years old. This particular pressing is about 20 years old, and it looks brand new. So it's a really nice find. The repress was put out by a company called Let Them Eat Vinyl, and it came on yellow vinyl, both of these. So, and the labels have like the pictures from the back of the album cover. So I'm really happy to have it. It sounds great too. I've given it a couple of listens, and it sounds fantastic. So I'm really happy to have like kind of a normal version of the album as well as the test pressing. So that was my first find, and that thing goes, that colored vinyl 2007 pressing, I've seen it, I think it's low as $80 and as much as like $120, $140. So, and I didn't even pay near half of that. So that was a really nice find. So the next one, so then I went to another record store. What are they called? The Desert Grooves, I think it's called Desert Grooves, out in Chandler, Arizona. And a really small place in a little strip mall. I've been there a couple times before, and they usually have like a pretty decent selection of like 80s stuff used. It's predominantly a used record store, and they've actually had a lot. I hadn't been there in a while, and this time they had a lot of inventory, and they even have like a section cut out that's just new wave records, and then a section of punk records, which is always nice, because then you don't have to spend so much time digging through the classic rock sections. Even though I did go through the classic rock sections, and there were quite a few new wave records mixed in there, but regardless. So I found 4 records at this place. The first one, this is a compilation I've been looking for, Catching Up with Depeche Mode. This is a USA only release, Sire Records, back in 1985. And I remember seeing this all the time. I've never owned a copy of this in any kind of format before, but I remember seeing it all the time back in the day. and I've always wanted to have this on vinyl. So this is what the back looks like. This is the list of songs that comes on it. It's basically a selection of everything up until right before Black Celebration came out. So Some Great Reward, I guess, would be the last record that has songs on this. It also has some singles, single-only releases like Shake the Disease, and then the B-side of that is Flexible, and it's got, it's called A Heart, which is another single that they released before Black Celebration came out. And then the Fly on the Windscreen version is not the Fly on the Windscreen version from Black Celebration. It's an earlier version that was on the B-side of It's Called A Heart. Sounds really great. It doesn't have like some of the hits that the band had released because they had another competing compilation out called People Are People, and that had the hits on it. So when they released this, I don't know if they couldn't or didn't want to put the same songs on both compilations, so they left off some of the hits off of this one and replaced it with those single-only releases to make up for it. Anyway, catching up with Depeche Mode. By the way, the song list on the back, those aren't in order. I thought that when I started to play the record, I was like, wait a second, that's not that song. These are completely out of order. So just in case you get a copy of this and you're expecting that, that's what I was expecting, and it's not the case. Anywho, Sire Records, catching up with Depeche Mode, USA only release, or North America only release. This was not released in the UK. I think maybe the People Are People compilation was the UK compilation, but anyway. Found that. It came with a nice inner sleeve with photographs of the band, various little candid shots and whatever of the band, and yeah, Sire Records. So that was the first record that I found there. Yeah, the second record I found, this is one I've been looking for and have been thinking about ordering it for a while. This is Sam Phillips, The Indescribable Wow. I've been a fan of hers for a long, long time, back when her Cruel Inventions album came out, which was like maybe 1990. So I've been a fan ever since then. This came out in 1988. This is her first pop album. Before this, she was kind of a country gospel kind of Christian singer, and then she kind of went pop, and this is her first album of that ilk. It reminds me a little bit of like Bangles and Go-Go's, that kind of pop music. Really nice, really great stuff. I had forgotten how many of these songs that I knew pretty much by heart. I must have listened to this album quite a bit. It's been a long time since I've listened to it, but I put it on last night and listened to it, and just all these memories came back of listening to this. The best songs, Holding On to the Earth, I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye to You is really great. Out of Time. There's just a lot of really good songs on this album. It's really not, there really isn't a bad song on here. She is, or was, in a relationship with T-Bone Burnett. I believe he produced this album, and also plays instruments on it. And yeah, so Sam Phillips. I really want to get her second album, Cruel Inventions, her second pop album, Cruel Inventions, on vinyl. And then the one after that, Martinis and Bikinis, is really good as well, her third album. Anyway, Sam Phillips, The Indescribable Wow. The inner sleeve looks like so, not a whole lot going on. Just some liner notes and then a photograph of her on the back. And this is on Virgin Records. There's the label there. I don't think this has been repressed. This feels like a very early. This is a gold stamp promo copy, by the way. Next one on my list. This is one, every time I look in the bins for this band, I'm always hoping for this album, and I always see the usual ones that you always see. Their first album, their second album, Whammy, Cosmic Thing. But finally found a copy of this, Bouncing Off the Satellites. This is their fourth album. This is Ricky Wilson appears on this album, performed on this album, and then he passed away soon after. But before it was released, he passed away. Cindy Wilson's brother, who played guitar on the B-52s. Anyway, so they released this album, then they kind of went on hiatus for a while. before recording Cosmic Thing after his passing. So Bouncing Off the Satellites, this is the album that has Girl from Ipanema Goes to Greenland, which is a fantastic B-52 song. It's got a couple others that are really good. I really like, and I forgot about a lot of these songs. Theme from a Nude Beach is really good. Summer of Love is good. Some of the songs are kind of iffy, but for the most part, it's actually a really decent album, kind of underrated. Bouncing Off the Satellites by the B-52s. Finally got this on vinyl. I'm pretty sure it's been out of print for a long time, so the only way you're going to find it is stumble across a used copy. So I forget what label. Warner Brothers is the label. And yeah, so then actually got 5 records. I forgot. I got 5 records at this used place. This fourth one here, he threw in for free. He didn't know what the price was and didn't know what the band was, didn't know what to do with it, the guy working the counter. So he's like, hey, you can have it. So a short story about this particular, it's a 12-inch single. The band Japan, I'm a huge fan of theirs. And recently I've been finding their 12-inch singles showing up in used record stores. And it's been like Cantonese Boy and Ghosts and some other singles, but the one that I really wanted was The Art of Parties, and that's a song off of this album. And the version of Art of Parties on this album is okay. It's kind of flat. It's kind of lifeless compared to the single version, and the single version is like an extended version, and I've had that for a long time. It was released, I think, on like a deluxe CD version. It was like a bonus track. The single version of this, and it's like 2 minutes longer than the album version. And all you get with the album is the album version. You don't get the single 6-minute version. So I've been looking, I would love to have that as a single. And then sure enough, I go into this record store and they have the 12-inch single of The Art of Parties. And this is the only like real I mean, if I could find something for like Method of Dance or Swing or something like that, then I would get that. But this is my favorite Japan song, The Art of Parties, and it's got the extended Art of Parties, the single version, and then the B-side is Life. What is it called? I forget what it's called. Life Without Buildings. Which is a great song, but it's a more obscure deep cut for them. So yeah, Art of Parties sounds fantastic. So happy to have this on vinyl. The back, this is what the back looks like with the guys. So anyway, really happy to score a copy of the Art of Parties 12-inch single. I don't really collect 12-inch singles, but that's a situation where it's like a specific version of a song that you can't get anywhere else on vinyl. So anyway, so when my fiance Courtney, when she bought me that XTC album, White Music, I showed it I think in my last video, I thought that she had told me that she had ordered Dukes of Stratosphear for me, and then that came, and I opened it, and I'm like, oh, I was expecting Dukes of Stratosphear. She's like, oh, I must have screwed that up or whatever. I must have ordered the wrong one. Both of them were on my list: the Dukes of Stratosphear, Sonic Sunspot, and then the XTC album, White Music. So I got the White Music. And so then I'm at this used record store, and they have a copy of Sonic Sunspot. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It was cheap. And I thought, well, since she didn't order it for me, like I had thought originally, I'm going to go ahead and just buy this used copy. It's a gold stamp promo. It's on Geffen Records. But then, sure enough, so it didn't come with any frills either, like just a blank inner sleeve. And I don't know, it was just kind of underwhelming, but oh well, at least I got a copy of it. And then in the mail, she's been gone out of town. She's visiting her sister in Chicago. And this came in the mail from Amazon. And this is the thing that I thought that she had ordered. And it turns out she did. She just kind of played dumb and wanted to surprise me again. So this did come in. This is the reissue on Ape House Records. And it comes with a nice gatefold image there, and in the back, I don't know, it's all nice and crisp and brand new. So I'm going to keep this one and trade in that used copy that I just showed You can see the covers are just a little bit different variation of the cover theme, and the back is also a little bit different. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that used beat up copy and keep this brand new copy that she got me. So Dukes of Stratosphear, I tend to just whip through these records and I don't ever describe or explain any of them. This is a little side project by the band XTC. It's kind of a psychedelic pop little band, mystery band that they put out a couple of records. One's called like the 3 o'clock, I think, or I forget what it's called, the 25 o'clock maybe. I forget what that, it's like a 6-song EP. And then this is Sonic Sunspot, their full-length album that they released. And then that was it. They stopped doing this. They're like, okay, the joke's over. We've done everything that we can do with this little side project, so we're just going to go back to just making XTC albums. They said, somebody asked them what happened to the Dukes of Stratosphear, and one of the band members answered that they died in a horrible sherbet accident. So that's what happened. Anyway, this record comes in, it came with one of these generic Ape House sleeves that has like the catalog of all their releases, reissues, and then the label, the Ape House label. I think this is like on 200 gram. It's really heavy record. So really happy to have that. That's awesome. So that was it for that record store. And then I went to one more record store yesterday, and it's called Rock This Town. It's like a new record store in the Chandler, Gilbert area of Arizona, kind of out in the East Valley where I live. And not the best selection in the world. I went there, I think, about a year ago when they first opened, and they didn't have much of anything. And so I went this time. They had a bigger selection, bigger inventory, but still just not, mostly like classic rock stuff is what they had. But they did have this record, and it was priced at, the retail price was $28, and they had it marked down to $10, and it's brand new, so I grabbed it. Morcheeba's latest album, Blackest Blue, really nice, really fantastic, just really chill music by them. They really can do no wrong. I don't think they've put out a bad album, but this new one's really nice, and for $10, like, how could I pass it up? Comes with this two-sided printed insert with lyrics and liner notes, and it comes on this really nice translucent blue vinyl. So yeah, $10. I'll take it. Morcheeba, Blackest Blue. So that's kind of it. I've got more stuff, I think, on the way, but instead of waiting for that to come in, I'm just went ahead and cranked out this video. Those are my vinyl finds. I hope y'all are having a great weekend. I'm not sure. I guess I'll probably do a video on Saturday next week. It's going to be busy. Easter and all that. There's going to be some traveling and party. My daughter's, we're throwing her birthday party with her friends that Friday night. So we'll see, but I should be able to squeak in maybe a video on Saturday. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your support, and y'all take care, and I don't know, just have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.